Yeah, good evening. Welcome to the webcast on Applied Petroleum Engineering with specialization in gas engineering. So myself, Dr. Rajeshwar Mahajan, Associate Professor in the Department of Chemical Engineering. So I'll brief you about the course Applied Petroleum Engineering with specialization in gas engineering. Basically, when we are considering the gas engineering means we are dealing with the natural gas engineering. So before starting with the course description, first we will discuss about the natural gas in the Indian scenario. So as you know that the India is having the largest population, so the energy consumption for India will be very large. So if you consider that the India is in the 13th largest gas consumer and the consumption is around 200 million metric standard cubic meter per day. So because in India we are having very small quantity of gas, so India will be the sixth largest LNG imported with the import amount about 44 million metric standard cubic meter per day. So the Indian economy increasing is at the compounded annual growth rate of 7 to 8% per annum with the similar increase in the energy consumption. So if you consider the largest component in the energy basket of India will be coal, after coal it will be oil, and after oil the natural gas will be the third component. So if you consider the share of natural gas in the energy basket, it will be around 11%, and it is expected that the 11% will go up to 20% by the 2020. So that despite of the increase in the domestic gas production, the dependency on import gets to increase substantially, and the this gap between the supply and the demand will be met basically by the import of the gas. And as of now, the gas will be imported only in terms of LNG. So the pipeline network developing into a national grid needs to grow faster, connect because it will connect the new markets. So for that we will require the natural gas in the sufficient quantity. So if you consider the demand supply projections, so there will be always a gap between the demand and the supply. So if you consider the year 2017 and 18, the gap will be minimized because of the some supply from the means new explorations, or it will be increase in the LNG regasification. So due to that, the gap will be minimized in 2017-18, and after that the gap will become larger and larger. So in order to deal with the large gap between the supply and the demand, so the industry will require the professionals which are well trained in the natural gas field. So if we consider the natural gas, this gas demand breakup in 1617, so the major chunk will be taken by the power industry, and the chunk will be around 42%. After the power industry, the fertilizer will be the second largest consumer of the gas with a chunk of 26%. So after that, we are having 17% will be consumed by petrochemicals, refineries, and the internal consumption. So after that, 7% will be used by the industries, and 6% will be in the form of city gas, which will be in the form of CNG or PNG, and 2% will be used by the sponge iron and the steel industries. So this means fertilizer and power industry are the major consumers of the natural gas. So if you consider the value chain of the natural gas industry, so in the total value chain we can divide in three components. The first will be production, second will be transmission, and third will be distribution. So when we are considering the production, the first step in the production will be exploration. First will be the exploration. So once we are identifying an area where we are having the gas or oil field, after that we are going for the drilling. So in the drilling, either we are getting gas or we are getting oil or we are getting nothing. So if you are getting oil and gas, then the next step will be you have to go for the reservoir estimation, and then you have to go for the production. So after production, we are getting either gas or oil or a mixture of oil and gas. So the first step will be we have to mix all the streams from different wells in a group gathering station. So that will be described as one in the slide. So in the group gathering station, our aim is to separate oil, water and the gas. The oil will be sent to the refineries, and the water that is produced, either it will be passed back to the well, or we are passing the gas directly to the gas processing plants, because the gas which we are getting from the group gathering station, it's a raw gas, and it will contain a small quantity of water. Apart from water, some acid gases like H2S, carbon dioxide. Apart from that, some inert components are also there like nitrogen, helium, and some of the heavy hydrocarbons are also coming along with the gas field. So this means we have to separate the impurities as well as the heavier hydrocarbons from the gas. So that will be done in the gas processing plant. So the two will be more elaborated as, so we are having the first, the gas from the wellhead is passed to the separator. In the separator, we are separating the oil, water, and the gas stream. So in the gas stream, we are adding chemicals because the gas will contain some quantity of water, and due to water and the condition of temperature and pressure, there may be chances that it may form some gas hydrates. So if gas hydrates will form, they will block the pipeline. So in order to prevent the choking by the gas hydrates, we have to add some additives. So that may be glycol, or we can add methanol. So some chemicals are added, and then we are passing it to the imine separations. So the purpose of the imine separation is to remove the acid gases like carbon dioxide, H2S, which is present in the gas. So after imine separation, we are getting the acid gases, and then we are passing the acid gases through the sulfur recovery plant where we are getting elemental sulfur. So after getting the elemental sulfur, the rest of the gas will be passed to the gas treatment unit, and then the rest of the portion will be incinerated. So after separation of sulfur, we are getting the sweet gas. Now this sweet gas will be having some quantity of water. So we have to remove water from the gas, and the process of removing water from the gas will be termed as dehydration. So there are many ways of dehydration. Either we are going for the solid bed, like can use the molecular sieves, or we can use the triethylene glycol in order to dehydrate the gas. So after dehydration, we will pass the gas to NGL recovery or storage part. So in the NGL recovery, our main aim is to separate the ethane plus components from the gas, because the ethane plus components, they are having higher market value as compared to methane. So we have to separate the heavier hydrocarbons, means ethane plus components, from the gas, and that will be done in the NGL recovery and the storage part. So after that, the gas means the gas which is free from heavier hydrocarbons, we will consider it as vapor recovery, and then we will pass the gas to the compressor, because the gas from the processing portion will not have sufficient pressure. So we have to compress the gas before we will pass it to the pipeline. So the gas processing will be described as means as marked as 2 in the slide. So after that, we are having the compressor. Now if the gas is available in sufficient quantity and is more than the requirement, so in that case we can go for the LNG terminal. So in the LNG terminal, our aim is to convert the gas to the liquefied natural gas. The reason of liquefying the natural gas is that if you convert the gas to liquid, there will be 600 times reduction in volume. So that's why the natural gas is converted to LNG. After, if you want to convert it to LNG, we have to go for ultra low temperature, which will be of the order of minus 161 degrees centigrade and 1 atmosphere pressure. So after converting the gas to LNG, we have to ship the gas, because if you are having the transportation up to long distance, so then the reduction in volume plays an important role. So after LNG shipping, we have to go for the regasification, because this liquefied natural gas we have to again convert it to the vapor phase. So this vapor phase, we will mix it with the main line as described as 4 in the slide. So the regasified gas from LNG is having sufficient pressure, so it can directly pass to the main gas sales lines. After that we can pass, if again the gas is more than the requirement, then we can store the gas as the underground storage reservoir. So in the storage reservoir we have to store the gas in the form of compressed gas. So there will be a compressor station before the underground gas storage. So after that the gas will be passed to the distribution grid. So before passing it to the distribution grid, we have to add odorant. Basically, mercaptans are added in the form of odorant. The purpose of adding odorant is that if there is some leakage, that can easily be detected with the help of the odorant. So after the distribution grid, the gas will be passed to the end user. So and the end user may be in the form of industry, or it may be in the form of fertilizer plant or a power plant, or it may be form of locality where you are having group housing, or it will be individual housing as per the requirement. So these are the main components of the natural gas value chain. So this means we are having the production, then we are having the transportation of a gas, and then the distribution gas, and after that we are having the consumption of the gas. Now, as far as the course structure is considered, so we can divide the entire course structure in 5 parts. The first of the section will consider the basic sciences and the general engineering courses. So that will be common for all the most of the engineering branches. Like you are having physics, chemistry, mathematics, English communication, design thinking, environmental studies, basics of electrical and electronics engineering, and the engineering mechanics. So these may be common in all the engineering branches. And if you consider the mathematics is maybe is, you are having mathematics 1, mathematics 2, or you are having mathematics 1, 2 and 3 depending upon the course structure. So in the UPS we are going for the choice based credit system, CBCS. So in that case we are having some electives which are related to programs, some electives which are common to all. So the second component of the course will be the chemical engineering subjects. So these subjects will be required as a prerequisite for the core subjects. So in the chemical engineering subjects, we are dealing with mainly material and energy flow computations, fluid mechanics, heat transfer, mass transfer, chemical reaction engineering, instrumentation and control. So after that we are having the course subject. The course subjects is further divided in 3 parts. Some subjects which are related to upstream, some subjects which are related to midstream, and some subjects which are dealing with the downstream. So the upstream related subject will include drilling, reservoir production, enhanced oil recovery, well stimulation, whereas the midstream subject contain natural gas engineering, air fractionation and purification of gases, coal bed methane, pipeline transportation of oil and gas, CNG, PNG and LNG. And if you are considering the downstream part, so the downstream will contain natural gas processing and handling, fractionation, city gas distribution, utilization of natural gas, and marketing and economics of the natural gas. So when we are considering these subjects, the chemical engineering subject will become the prerequisite for the upstream, midstream and the downstream subjects. Like we are having fluid mechanics. So fluid mechanics will become the prerequisite for the reservoir engineering. So we are having heat transfer, mass transfer. So that will become the prerequisite in the natural gas processing and handling. Apart from that, we are having pipeline transportation of oil and gas, CNG, PNG and LNG. So when we are considering the CNG, PNG and LNG, all the three will be the form of natural gas. CNG represents the compressed natural gas, PNG represents the piped gas, and LNG will become the liquefied natural gas. So in that case, when we are considering the drilling, basically the drilling deals with the first upstream operation. So in the drilling, we are dealing with either means this vertical drilling, horizontal drilling. What are the characteristics for the drilling fluid? What are the types of bits which are required for the particular perforation, particular you can say formations. And secondly, when we are considering the reservoir, so in the reservoir, porosity, permeability, they play an important role. So if the oil is not having sufficient pressure in the well, then you have to go for the enhanced oil recovery techniques. So enhanced oil will be either in the form of primary, secondary or tertiary recovery streams. So when we are considering the natural gas engineering, so basically in the natural gas engineering, our operation will deal with the natural gas separation, means we have to go for the separation of oil, gas and water. Then uh, we are dealing with the various operations, means depending upon the components in the raw gas, we are either going for the first we have to separate the impurities from the gas, which will be in the form of solid or which will be in the form of water. After that we have to remove the other impurities, like we are having acid gases, we are having water in the gas, so we have to remove these. So then we are having some unconventional sources of natural gas. So in the non-conventional sources of gas, we are having coal bed methane, we are having shale gas, then gas hydrates. So all they will come under the part of midstream. So the main component in the midstream will be the pipeline transportation of oil and gas. So that may be either in the form of raw gas or it may be for the means for the gas which will be in the final stage in the form of sales gas. So then based upon the requirement we can convert the gas to LNG if you are requiring the gas at a long distance. And if pipeline transportation is not feasible, then we will prefer the gas to convert it to LNG, and then we can transfer it, and then again we will regasify the gas. Or it may be transported in the form of CNG, compressed natural gas. And if you are having the city gas distribution, the gas will be in the form of CNG or PNG. So again in the processing part we have to remove the impurities. Fractionation, if the gas will contain heavy hydrocarbon, we have to remove the heavy hydrocarbon by the fractionation. So in the fractionation we are removing the ethane, propane and the butane plus component from the gas. So the city gas distribution, so gas that we are using in the household or industrial complexes will be with the help of city gas distribution network. The end user we have already discussed. The end user will be either power industry or fertilizer industry, or we are having the city gas distribution network or the some other industrial complexes. In the end we are having the marketing and the economics part. So in the economics we are dealing with basically the gas economics. How we are deciding the price of the gas. Now, when we are considering the carrier options, so the carrier option will be either in the form of upstream or you can consider in the form of downstream part. So, if you are having carrier in the upstream, you are having the designation in the form of production engineer or reservoir engineer, or you are having well stimulating engineer. And if you are placed at LNG terminal, then the designation will be of the type LNG production and handling engineer. So if you are having in the downstream, the designation will be natural gas modeling and the simulation engineer. So if you are having means you can having placement in the pipeline sector, so the designation will be of the type of pipeline transportation engineer. So if you are having in the city gas distribution network, it will be PNG, CNG operation and distribution engineer. Or sometimes you will get job in the software industry, and basically when we are considering software industry, it's not purely software engineer. It will be in the form of vertical, and basically uh, the gas engineers they are placed in oil and gas vertical or they are placed in the energy verticals. So when we are considering the employment potential, so in the employment potential we are having design firms or EPC sectors, or we are having the employment potential in the gas sector companies which will be dealing with the LNG, CNG, PNG, exploration, processing, pipeline, marketing and the retailing. Or we can have the employment potential in the service and the technology provider to the gas sector companies. So apart from that, you are having prospects in the utility and the allied sector companies also. And again, some of the people they are having career in the IT companies. Again, they will be placed in either oil and gas vertical or they will be placed in the energy verticals. Because the pure IT people they don't know about the basic requirement for the oil and gas industry. So the IT companies will require the people which are having well proficient knowledge of the gas engineering. So they will prefer the people from the applied petroleum engineering with specialization in gas engineering. So apart from that, the list is very long. So we have only considered the suggestive list of the selected company employment potentials. So as far as the facility at UPS is concerned, we are having UPS Rig Zone. So basically this rig zone will be able to familiarize with the drilling operation. So at rig zone you can see the Christmas tree or you can consider what are the various components which are required in the rigs and what are the various types of bits which are used for the drilling. So apart from that, we are having various laboratories which are either related to the chemical engineering or which are related to the gas engineering. So the laboratory facility will include the mass transfer and the reaction engineering lab, heat transfer lab, process instrumentation and control lab, particulate technology lab, petroleum testing lab, and chemical engineering computing lab. So the on the right side at the top, the slide will show equipment which is in the reaction engineering lab, and this will be the anaerobic digester. And if you consider on the left side at the bottom, we are having a cooling tower, and in the middle at the bottom, you are having a single effect evaporator. And on the right side at the bottom we are having the equipment which is related to the mass transfer lab, so that will be the simple distillation unit. So basically in this we are having some equipments, some experiments which are related to the mass transfer, reaction engineering, heat transfer, as well as some process instrumentation and control lab which will be of importance for the gas engineering people. So apart from the laboratories, we are having some R&D facilities also, because the faculty in the chemical engineering department, they are also responsible for doing the research. So for the research, the faculty is having some projects which are sponsored by DST or MNRE or other funding agencies. So in the R&D's point of view, we are having the catalyst development and the characterization lab. So on the extreme left at the top, we are having a ball mill, and on the side of the ball mill, we are having a weighing balance. On the right side at the top, we are having a small micro reactor, and this micro reactor will be used to study the kinetics which happen in a micro reactor, and we can scale up it to a macro reactor bench scale, and then we can go for the industrial scale also. So on the right side on the left side at the bottom we are having a rotary evaporator, and on the right side we are having the gas chromatography, and this gas chromatography unit will be sponsored by the DST project. Now apart from that we are having some softwares which are related to the gas engineering course. The software which is Petrel and Eclipse. So they are related to reservoirs. So both are applicable for the upstream sector. So the Petrel is normally used for the reservoir modeling. Basically in this we are having the static modeling. And if you are considering the Eclipse, Eclipse is basically used for the reservoir simulation. So in the Eclipse we are going for the steady state or unsteady state simulation of the reservoir. So pipe sim is common for upstream as well as for downstream. Basically, whenever you are having the flow through a pipeline, then we can use the pipe sim. So basically, it deals with the multiphase flow simulator. So whenever you are having the pipeline transportation of oil and gas, we can use the pipe sim for calculating the pressure at the source, and or calculating the pressure at the you can say group gathering station, or pressure at the means point where we are requiring the exit of the sales gas. So apart from that we are having the CFD software, so which will be used to solve and analyze problem that involve the fluid flow. So we are having different modules of CFD, like we are having Gambit, ANSYS or Fluent. So after that, for the downstream part, we are having HTRI. So basically this HTRI is used for the designing of heat exchanger. And apart from that, we are having the SPEN software, so which will be used for the process simulation. So basically, if you consider the first three will be common for the upstream and the last three will be mainly used for the downstream part. And gas being the midstream, it has application both in the upstream as well as downstream sector. So the gas engineering people should have knowledge of all the 6 softwares. So apart from that, we are having some student activities which are common for all the branches. Like we are having Urja, which is a cultural fest of the university. So in the annual fest, different teams from different universities and colleges, they are taking participate, and we are having, after that we are having a Ignite. So Ignite is a tech fest. Basically in this again, the participants are from different universities and different colleges of India or from abroad also. So after that, university has started a new research initiative for the students of engineering as RISE. So in the RISE, university will sponsor the ideas which are means innovative in nature. So university will ask a student to write some research proposal, and then after screening, if the project is awarded, then university will give you some seed money. So with the help of seed money, and around 10 months time will be given. So if you are getting concrete result from the research, then the research will be awarded, and if the some further research is required, then it will be recommended for the next financial year, and some more money will be given as for the research assistance. So apart from the RISE, university has started a new program, that is PST, Professional Software Training. So after the end sem, we are having 1 week or 5 days exhaustive training of softwares. The purpose of the software training will be to familiarize the students with the available software with the university, and they can incorporate these softwares in their minor and the major products. Then university is having personality enhancement program and placement selection improvement program. So this personality enhancement program is the first year students, and the placement selection improvement program is for the final year students. So in the placement selection improvement program, we are having mock interviews, and which involve both the technical as well as the HR point of view. So student will be trained to face the interviews in order to improve the placement selection. So apart from that, we are having different student chapters, and the students of gas engineering, they are mainly registering with the IICHE, means the Indian Institute of Chemical Engineers, or SPE student chapters. So if you are having the activities which are done by the student chapters, this slide will give you the activities which are done by the IICHE student chapter. So in that we are having some experts which are from the industry or academia. At the top in the middle we are having Professor M.M. Sharma, a well-known professor in the field of chemical engineering. On the right side at the top we are having Professor K.S. Gandhi from ISC Bangalore. So on the in the middle on the left side we are having Dr. Karthik Surya Narayanan. So he is from UOP, and at the bottom in the middle we are having Dr. Nitesh Kumar Luthra. So he is from uh, Tops and Holder Group. So in this we are mainly inviting the various industrial experts. The purpose of industrial expert will be they will minimize the gap between the the academic teaching as well as what are the practices which are done in the industry. So the gap will be bridged with the help of the guest lecture. So apart from that, the student will go for either you can say paper presentation or debate or various quizzes in the student chapters. So as far as the SP student chapter is concerned, so last year university has celebrated the 6th foundation day of the SP student chapter. So again at the top on the left side we are having the model which will be prepared by the students, and the faculties are evaluating the working model which is prepared by the student. So again in SP we are calling the industrial experts which will give the lecture on the different topics or the practices which are using in the oil and gas industries. So in the middle on the right side we are having Dr. Nathan Mahajan. So he is the president of International SPE means SPE Society of Petroleum Engineering, and he is having selfie with the students of petroleum engineering and the gas engineering. So again at the bottom you are having the various functionaries for the SPE society, and this time our student Sagarika Gangopadhyay, he is the president of the SPE student chapter, and she is from the gas engineering. Apart from that, we are having in the third year, the student have to undergo a summer internship. So we are having various organizations where the students are going and they will spend 6 to 8 weeks at their summer internship. And if the organization is happy with their work and the projects that they are doing during their summer internship, then they will get a chance for the pre-placement offer also. So in means the majority of the students they are going for the ONGC, Keynes, Schlumberger, Weatherford, Reliance, British Gas. So basically these are the various upstream companies. So as far as the midstream companies, you are having Gujarat Gas, Mahanagar Gas, RGPPL, Worley Person, Nagarjuna Group, Gale. So they are basically the companies which are dealing with the midstream. And if you are considering the end stream companies, means the distribution companies like you are having Gujarat Gas, Mahanagar Gas, you are having Adani Gas, as well as HMEL or Indian Oil, Petrofac. So the students are going for the downstream sector and they are having training in these companies. And some of the esteemed recruiters are there. So basically university means some of the esteemed recruiters they are means coming in the university for placement year after year. So some of them include the Keynes, Schlumberger, Halliburton, Weatherford, Reliance, Shell, MECL, Total, Worley Person, Mobilize, Gujarat Gas, then Gammon, Gensol, Mahanagar Gas, Sterlite Group, L&T, Infosys, Arham Group, Adani, Wipro, IBM, Tata Consultancy, Global Data, Petrofac, and iGate. So these are the esteemed recruiters. Some of the companies are not listed because of the space limitation. So in the you can say a student will have a chance to work either in the upstream company or they are having a chance in the midstream company or in the downstream companies. So when we are considering the IT sector, basically the students they are getting a job profile which will be in the form of oil and gas vertical or it will be in the form of energy vertical. And as far as the public sector companies are concerned, so they will prefer the gate score. So they are not coming for the campus recruitment. They will means having recruitment through the gate score. So our students they are appearing in the gate, and this time I think around 5 students from the gas engineering they are having rank which is less than 500 in petroleum engineering. And apart from that the students they are going outside for various competition parties and they are having means for a international you can say international workshops as well as national level workshop. And last year our student Shreya Singh they are gone for the summer internship in the Total in Paris. So she spent around 1 month in Paris and that will be sponsored by the Total. And as far as the university collaboration is concerned, this time around 50 students from our university, they are having summer internship in the foreign universities. And some of the foreign university students, they are coming our university for the internship also. As well as one student from Mexico is there for one full semester course at UPES. I think that's all from my side. I welcome you at UPS. If you are having some queries related to the course or some other queries related to the university, so you are free to ask. So one of the students asked about how often Slumberger offer placement at UPS. So Slumberger hasn't come this year, but the Slumberger offered the placement in the last year. So in 2016, Slumberger is not there in the company list. So they have given placement for the 15 batch, 2015 batch. And before that, the Slumberger is regularly coming. So because of the slowdown in the means industry, this time they are not having requirement for the means the gas engineering students. So which one of you will prefer AP? So the average package that is offered by the companies in the AP gas stream will be of the order of 3 to 4 lakh, because the minimum package is around 2.5 lakh, and the maximum package that is offered this year will be 13 lakh, which will be offered by the Weatherford. So they are having their training at Abu Dhabi, and their final placement will be at Saudi. So you are having a rank of 998. So at this time I can't confirm that whether you will get the gas stream or you will get the upstream, because that will depend upon the how many people which are above your rank and they are coming uh, for the counseling, and whether they are preferring the AP course or they are preferring some other course at the university. So at 998, there may be some chance, or you will get the maybe in the waiting list. So one of the student asked about, do AP student have to work in the remote areas? So if you are having means like you are having a job at the drilling rig, so that will be at the remote location. And if you want to prefer the office job, then you can go for the job in the IT sector, or as well as in the service provider to the oil and gas field. So in the oil and gas industry, you are having both office job as well as the job at the site. So the site basically they are the remote sites. And if you are having some, like you are having 15 days off, 15 days work like that, that will be if you are having the remote location job. So please tell about the previous year observation about the availability of seats for AP. So again, as I've already told that the previous year data will not help, because in previous year how many students will turn up for the counseling and how many have opted for the AP. So that's will not be, maybe the same will not repeat this year also. So I don't think the previous year data will help. So one student asked about I am weak in chemistry and have a strong mathematics. So can I go for petroleum engineering, or because my chemistry is weak, shouldn't go for it? So basically when we are considering the gas engineering, it's not much about the chemistry which is involved. And basically whatever requirement will be there, that will be incorporated. And if you consider the mathematics you are strong, that will be required, because in the gas engineering we are having some courses which are require modeling and simulation, so that will require mathematics. Apart from that, if you are going for the uh, various design equations, again the mathematics will help a lot. So one student asked about the how are placement different for upstream and gas stream. So basically, the companies which are coming for upstream, they are also allowing the students for gas stream. So, and if you are considering the companies which are coming for city gas distribution, they may or may not prefer the upstream people. One student asked that are office job for AP having the same cream packages? So again, that will be depend upon company to company, because if you are joining a companies like Schlumberger, Kane, so in that case the packages you are can say that the cream packages. But if you are not joining these companies, then the package will be around 4 to 5 lakh. So the Kane and Schlumberger, they will offer package for the office as well as side job, but they are having some allowances for the side job. And for office job, these allowances will not be there, or some perks which are not there. And one student asked that do PSUs like GAIL and ONGC recruit upstream students? So basically these PSUs, they are not coming to the campus because they are having a requirement of GATE. And now they are taking students only on the basis of the GATE. And the students, they are appearing in GATE in the final year. That maybe normally happens in the last week of Jan or first week of Feb. So after qualifying GATE, and based on that they are having the shortlisting based on the GATE score, and they are calling for the interviews. And majority of the PSUs, they are following the GATE score. And if you are considering the applied petroleum engineering subject will be a part of the GATE. So because the competition is less, so you can get a good GATE score in the applied petroleum engineering branch in GATE. So one student asked that is good chemistry required for AP. So basically chemistry will be, I think, only chemistry 1 and chemistry 2 will be a part of AP, and I don't think more chemistry will be required in the applied petroleum engineering. So you are having different subjects which are related to the upstream, and they will not require a sound knowledge of chemistry. So one student asks, the GAIL and ONGC offers office jobs. Is the trend is same in cane or the slumberger? Basically, that will require from the company to company. So if they require the person for the office job, they will recruit, or if they require a person for the side job, they will recruit based on that. Sally, thank you. For further inquiries, you can mail to btech@upes.ac.in.